Loss rarely announces itself. It doesn't always show up in tears. It doesn't always come with late night messages. It doesn't always arrive with dramatic apologies. Sometimes it settles quietly. And when a man leaves without chaos, without insults, without emotional outbursts, the silence becomes heavier than any argument ever could. Stoicism teaches a difficult truth. The deepest suffering is often internal and invisible. And when you walk away with composure, her suffering happens where no one sees it. One silence forces reflection. When you don't argue, when you don't beg, when you don't try to prove your value, there is nothing to fight against. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Without your reactions to distract her, her own thoughts begin to grow louder. She replays conversations. She re-examines tone. She revisits moments she once dismissed. Silence removes external noise. And in that, quiet, reflection begins. 2. Your absence removes emotional security. While you were present, your stability felt normal. Your consistency felt expected. Your grounding felt ordinary. But once it disappears, contrast appears. Epictetus said, "Freedom is secured not by the fulfilling of desire, but by the removal of it. When access to you is gone, certainty dissolves, and uncertainty creates discomfort. Not loud discomfort, but a steady, persistent awareness that something stable is no longer there." 3. She can no longer test your reactions. When you were emotionally available, she could feel your responses. A shift in tone would move you. Distance would trigger pursuit. Coldness would create effort. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free, but when you leave calmly, those levers stop working. There is no reaction to measure, no reassurance to test, no emotional feedback to lean on, and that loss of influence creates internal tension." 4. The mind rewrites the narrative. Regret doesn't arrive instantly, it builds. Marcus Aurelius observed, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When she realizes you are no longer reachable, the narrative shifts. She remembers your patience. She remembers your steadiness. She remembers what felt secure. Absence magnifies qualities that presence once softened. 5. Pride prevents expression. Sometimes the suffering remains silent because pride stands in the way. Epictetus reminded us, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." You embodied calm departure, and pride often prevents someone from admitting they misjudged value. So the suffering stays internal, unspoken, unannounced, unresolved. 6. By the time realization is complete, you've moved forward. The final weight of loss comes with timing. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." By the time clarity fully arrives, you are no longer waiting. You are no longer checking. You are no longer hoping. You chose alignment over attachment. And that is what makes the silence heavy, because she realizes you didn't leave in anger. You left in certainty. She suffers in silence, not because you caused pain intentionally, but because you walked away without chaos. No begging, no dramatic exits, no emotional collapse, just composure. And when a man leaves calmly, reflection replaces resistance. Sometimes regret grows quietly. Sometimes realization arrives too late. But the Stoic understands true strength is not in making someone feel loss. It is in walking away without losing yourself.